Does social media make you feel anxious? You're not alone. We're going to talk all about it. Stay tuned. That's what's up next. Hi, my name is Natasha Daniels. I'm a therapist and I make videos for people with anxiety or OCD. And today I want to talk to you about social media anxiety. Social media can create a lot of anxiety in people who don't even have anxiety. But when you already have anxiety or OCD, social media can sometimes, not always, but sometimes make it worse. And I want to talk to you about why that is, how it does it, and what to do about it. But before I get started, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified when I come out with new videos, which is every Thursday. Okay, so let's talk about social media. So it will be different for each one of you, but I want to talk about a few different ways social media can create more panic and anxiety in some of you. So the first one is appearance, and it's kind of FOMO in two different ways, right? It's like, gosh, I wish I looked like that. Why can't I look like that? And unfortunately, with the amount of filters that are out there and photoshopping and all the ways that you can alter your appearance, what you see is very rarely what you get. And I am sometimes shocked when people do before and after pictures. This is what I look like now. This is me with a filter, or this is me now, and this is me with an edited picture. It's like two different people. And so don't believe everything you see. So you're jealous over a digitally manipulated image. And if you don't believe me, or if you don't realize that that's as big of a deal, you might want to Google, before and after filtered pictures or before and after Photoshop pictures. And you'll start to see that what you're seeing on social media is often through a filtered lens, which is crazy, right? And so we're trying to obtain a look that people don't even actually have, that very few people actually have. And so we're jealous of a filter. So that's the first one. The second one is a lot of times, especially if you have social anxiety, we're worried about keeping up, right? Oh my gosh, where did they go? Let me just zoom in there. How come I wasn't invited? Or I have to stay on top of this because I want to be part of the chat. I want to be involved. If I'm not part of this thread, then they're going to be maybe talking smack about me, or they're going to be, leaving me out. And so I have to 24/7 have my phone and be part of what's going on, or at least keep an eye on it. Otherwise, maybe one, they're going to talk about me, or two, they're going to forget about me, or three, I feel excluded. If that is the case, and it's causing you a lot of stress, now it may not cause each one of you stress, but if you're like, yeah, that is how I feel like I have to have my phone on 24/7, and I constantly am hypersensitive, and I have to watch it and read it, not because I want to. Some of you might be like, I love doing that, but some of you might feel like, I'm strapped to my phone and I don't want to be. Then I want to ask you, do you have faith in your friends? Because if you feel like you have to be part of a conversation, or you're going to be the topic of conversation, those aren't really the best people to hang out with. Or if you feel like they're going to forget you because you're not involved all the time, then again, is that the best friend choice? And a lot of times this might be in your head. This might be anxiety telling you that you have to be involved all the time. And so maybe set some boundaries, because it's a vicious cycle that you can never get off of. And so you're never going to reach a point where you're going to feel satisfied, or your anxiety is going to feel satisfied. And so you might set your own limits, right? You might say, from this time to this time, I'm turning everything off. And that is okay to do. And if, the sky falls, then let the sky fall, because I don't want to be strapped to checking my social media. Okay, so that's problem number 2. Problem number 3 is a lot of times social media makes us feel bad, just in general. It might be for all of the reasons I'm talking about. It might be because you don't like the topics you're seeing, or maybe there's a lot of hate going on, or maybe the news is scary, or maybe the themes that people are talking about are scary. And so you might say, well, I have to be on social media because that's where my friends are, or whatever, or I like it, but then afterwards I start to think about what I saw and it starts to freak me out. And so I have some suggestions for you. One, be careful with who you follow. Be careful who you follow, because your feed is going right into your brain. That sounds kind of drastic, but your feed is who you are. Your feed is your reality. So no matter what social media platform you're on, or your texts or whatever you're on, because there's a million of them, what you're seeing is like direct food for your brain. And so you want to ask yourself, what kind of stuff do I want in my feed? And who I follow or what I like is going to impact the algorithm of what I see and what is suggested to me. If you went on my Instagram account, you would think that the entire world has anxiety and OCD. You would, because that's all that's suggested for me and that's all the people I follow. And so it's just full of that. If I go on my 18-year-old daughter's Instagram, it doesn't look like that. It's all art stuff, right? So be careful. You might want to go and, not follow the people that are making you feel bad. So maybe you want to unfollow some things. Another option, and this might be a better option for some of you, is to create a second account on wherever you are, whatever that's TikTok or Instagram, or, once this YouTube video gets old, those will be really old references. You'll be like, oh my gosh, this is an old video. Whatever you're on, it doesn't matter. Maybe you want to create a second account and you want to only have positive things on there. And so when you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious, you can actually go on there and have uplifting things in your feed, and so you feel better. That might be another good option. Or you might want to just do that entirely. You might say, you know what, I'm just cleaning house. I'm going to get off of all of these things. I'm going to create new accounts and they're all going to be positive. Because what you surround yourself with becomes your reality. It becomes your perception of what is. And I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of things that are bad in the world. And I don't want to be surrounded by things that make me feel bad. The other thing is, you might, even if you're following your friends or you're seeing your friends' stuff in your feed, you might say to yourself, how do I feel after I spend some time looking at these things? If you start to feel like jealous every time you're looking at someone else's account, or anytime they post something, you start to feel jealous, or you feel like, oh my gosh, they have it so much better than me, or they're doing so much better than me, then that might be someone that you want to mute or unfollow for a little while, because that feeling of jealousy kind of increases your anxiety, increases your overwhelm, and it's not going to be good for your mental health. So, to make a long story longer, be careful with what you watch and what you perceive, because your reality is shaped by that. And so, our anxious minds want to glom onto anything that we possibly can. And so my feeds are very uplifting. And so I'm not triggered when I'm watching my stuff in my social media. And I still don't even like social media because it's not my thing. So I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you take some of my suggestions. And I will be back next Thursday. Don't forget to find the sparkle in everything you do. Take care.